Okay, here we go. All right, so let's start seated. And we're gonna start with the breath. So find a comfortable seated position. You can sit cross-legged or with your legs straight out or in a chair if it's uncomfortable to sit on the floor. And let's take a couple of breaths. Just normal, just notice. You can close your eyes if that's comfortable or keep them open. And it is approaching spring, so everything's kind of buzzy. So we're gonna do our humming breath. It's super easy. If your lips start to tingle, you're humming in the wrong spot. Just keep that in mind. So stop and then like send it back further back in the throat. So mouth closed, we're gonna inhale through the nose and then, so if you want, you can even put your hand somewhere, feel where it is, and just go at your own pace. The great thing about this one is it will help you extend your breath. So I can go a lot longer on my exhale.
You're right.
It's true.
Yeah.
I can't believe it.
Yeah,
That's
so
amazing.
that is a great one to practice if you are working on your breath capacity, which is something that we should be working on. So do one or two more. And I like to do that one. That's one of when my sinuses gets clogged or my ears are clogged, it is vibrating and helping to loosen stuff up in there, especially if you've got spring allergies. That's a good one to use. All right, so
would
let's.
it help for stress release?
Oh yeah, because it's a longer exhale.
Yeah.
So if you want to get pumped up and you want more energy, bigger inhale. If you want to calm down, longer exhale. All right. So let's do some cat and cow. If you're sitting cross-legged, hands under the knees. We're going to exhale, round the spine back. On the inhale, rounding up, looking up, cow. Exhale, back to cat. So just back and forth. Feel the edge of your range of motion and see if you can play with that a little bit. So go ahead and do two more in each direction. And then come back to neutral. And then let's do our laterals, so our side to sides. We're going to put one hand on the floor. Inhale, bring this other arm up. And just go as far as is comfortable. As you move, your range of motion might increase, which is always fabulous, right? On your next one, see if you can start the inhale before you start the arm movement. And then exhale before you start the arm back down. All right, so let's do one more time each side or finish off evenly. Excellent. All right, next we're going to do our twist. So we want to inhale and lengthen the spine. On the exhale, twist to the first side. Inhale back to center, twist to the other side. So we want to keep that twist in the upper half to third of the spine. And because we're still in that warming up phase, we don't want to be torquing on it, like pushing into the twist. Just going to that natural edge of our range of motion. All right, one more time each side or finish off evenly. All right, let's hit that cat and cow again for bringing that spine back to symmetrical. Too many S words. All right, exhale back, inhale, rounding up, looking up. And then back to neutral. Excellent. All right, let's come up to hands and knees. All righty. So we are going to start with that cat and cow again. And I want you to see if you can feel the difference between the seated cat and cow and this hands and knees cat and cow. So we're going to exhale. We're pulling up from the shoulder blades, kind of the upper part of the back. And then as you inhale, we don't want to just dump the belly towards the floor. We want to keep that engaged. So we're stretching up the front of the spine and the back of the spine. Got some weight bearing on the arms. Some flexibility in the feet. Excellent. And then come back to neutral. Actually, I'm gonna move this out of the way. And we're gonna do a plank, short plank, and then we're gonna do mountain climbers. I don't know. We've done versions of this, but all right. So stepping up into different levels of plank, you can stay in all fours and just walk the hands forward. So we're still getting that upper body strength. You can do one leg at a time or both. All right, so come into your version of your plank. Take a couple breaths there. And then come back down to the knees. And then we're gonna do our mountain climbers. So basically you're just bringing the knees to the elbows. That's your mountain climbers. And if that is too much, you can stay on the knees and then lift one knee at a time. And then finish the one you're on and do one more time each side. And then we're going to come down to the knees. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat down to child's pose. And you can stay in that child's pose or come back up to cow, cat, child's pose. So we'll do a couple rounds of that. And on your next child's pose, we're going to pause there. Bring the toes together. Knees can come out wider, make room for the belly. Or stay up on the knees and come into puppy pose. Excellent. All right, from here, let's come up to kneeling. So if you want to sit down, I don't think this is going to work on the floor. Do you want to sit back in your chair? That might be easier. There we go. All right, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to inhale, arms up, and then exhale back down. Inhale, come all the way up, and then exhale back down. One more time, inhale up, and exhale down. All right, we're going to grab our blocks, and we're going to come into our low lunge. All right, so you may not need your blocks, and that's fine. And you've got options for how high you want. They can be up higher, lower, lowest, or just on the floor. All right, so let's start with, we're going to bring that right foot up. So out and around, or up through the middle. There you go. So let's start with bringing that pelvis down towards the floor. So your knee is going to come forward. Pelvis comes down towards the floor. So we're getting a lengthening stretch in that left hip flexor. That's the one that's going to bring that leg up. All right, and then come back to neutral. And then we're going to come up to that bent knee. And then you can stay here, or if you want to come up higher, you can bring the arms up. If you get a little wobbly, you can come back down. And then one more option, if you want, looking up towards the ceiling, a little bit of a baby back bend. Or you can bring the pelvis down, or both. So this would be called a crescent lunge, because we're kind of looking like the crescent moon. All right, and then coming back out, pelvis comes up, hands come down, down again, and then we're going to switch legs. So you can go out and around, or up through the middle. And we're going to start with that pelvis coming forward. kind of down at an angle towards the floor. So this is good for those knees because we're compressing that knee, and that's going to help that synovial fluid as we move. All right, coming up to neutral, hand on that bent knee. And stay here, or if you're ready for your next option, arms up. And then last one or two options here, bring the pelvis down and then do the back bend, or just the back bend, or just the pelvis. And then when you're ready to come out, neutral pelvis, hands come down to the blocks, knee comes back, and then we're going to come into a down dog to come up to standing. So start with your table. I'm going to curl the toes under. Push in with the hands, inhale, lift the hips up. And I like to bring the feet wide at the bottom of the mat. And a couple of options here. You can come up on the toes, up higher. Give those ankles a little workout. Or you can walk your dog, bend one knee, extend the opposite heel towards the floor. And then when you're ready, we're going to straighten the legs, push the hands into the floor, feel that extension in the spine. And then you can look up at your hands and walk your hands forward, or look back at the feet and walk your hands back. So we're in a forward fold. You can shake your head yes or no. And then bend the knees nice and deep. Arms come out to the side. Push in with the feet. Inhale. Come all the way up, palms together. Exhale, hands to heart. Whew. All right, we are all vertical. We made it. Nicely done. All right. So let's start our standing here with a mountain pose. First thing we want to connect with is our breath this time. And then we're going to add on. So let's look at where the feet are. You can start with big toes touching, heels are about a fist width distance apart in the back. And go hip width distance apart. Go wider. Find where your feet want to be. See how that affects your balance. And then, let's see. Feet are rooted. We're going to go crown of the head all the way to the top. Feel that extension up. And then hip points. So right on the front, little bony protrusions here. We're going to imagine that you've got shoelaces maybe going back and forth, and you can tighten it up like your shoes. So we're engaging these lower abdominal wall, holding in all that gooey goodness. Relax the shoulders. And then imagine somebody coming up and pulling the shoulder blades closer together. So it opens up the front of the body. And you're going to get a stronger upper back pulling those shoulder blades together. So we have a tendency to round forward and down. So I'm going to open that up. A whole bunch of things that affects your breath. If there's osteoporosis issues, it restricts your blood flow if you're forward and hunched. All right, let's take 2 more breaths here. Just focusing on the breath. And then let's do some more movement. All right, let's start with Warrior 1. So we're going to turn one foot out and step the other foot forward. And let's warm up that front knee first. So we're going to inhale when the leg is straight, exhale, bend. Inhale, straighten, exhale, bend. So we're aiming for that second and third toe. We don't want to go in, we don't want to go out, we want to go right in the right channel there. So maybe you need to spread your toes a little bit more. Maybe notice the arch on the inside of the foot, the arch on the outside of the foot. All right, push off, step back, go to the other foot. So one of the things that can affect our balance is not knowing where our feet are in space. So if we always have shoes on, if we're not paying attention, we can lose that ability to notice. So, and that can affect our balance if we don't know where our feet are. All right. Inhale, straight leg, exhale, bend. And I think I've talked about fascia before. It's kind of like our sausage casing all around the body, in the organs, around the organs, kind of holds us in place and together. Super important to hydrate and super important to move. That tissue gets tight and can get painful if it doesn't move. So that's why we try to move every muscle in the body in yoga class. So we've got, if you don't move your legs, they get stiff. You don't move your arms, they get stiff. Same thing, you want to move the whole body. All right, push off, step back. Let's add arms. Let's do 3 rounds of hands to heart, cactus arms, arms straight up. All right, back to that first foot forward. If your foot doesn't land where you like it, you can move it. All right, ready? Here we go. So we're going to inhale, hands to heart, bend that front knee. Exhale back. Inhale, cactus arms. Exhale back. Inhale, arms straight up. Exhale back. Second round, hands to heart. Cactus arms. And arms straight up. Exhale. And let's do one last round. Hands to heart. Cactus arms. And arms straight. Excellent. All right, push back. And that foot out, step the second foot forward. Check in with that foot. And here we go. Inhale, hands to heart, bend that front knee. Exhale. Inhale, cactus arms. Arms straight up. Beautiful. Second round, hands to heart. Cactus arms. And arms straight up. Beautiful. Hands to heart. Cactus arms. And arms straight up. All right, one more round. Hands to heart. Cactus arms. And arms straight up. Beautiful. All right, push off, step back, and let's do our moving balance. So I'm going to step off my mat. That 1/4 inch makes a difference for me, may not for you. All right, first one we're going to do is our palm tree pose. Always have options. So you can do just the arms, you can do just the feet, you can do it at the wall, you can do it with the chair. All right, so here we go. So we're going to inhale, arms come up on the toes, exhale back. You can do it all at once or parts. You can do one arm at a time. If one arm doesn't feel like going up, then just do the other arm. It's all about options. And if it feels a little wobbly, you can move your feet apart a little bit more, or maybe closer together. Add a breath while you're up on the toes, strengthening the ankles. Excellent. And one or two more. Excellent. All right. Let's do our other moving balance, and then we'll do a fabulous tree pose. All right. So let's do crossbody. Get those neurons firing up in the brain, left side, right side. So we start with the hands out. We're gonna bring one knee up and touch with the opposite hand. So left knee, right hand, right knee, left hand. You get the idea? If you don't like doing this, then you should do it more. There's those poses that you don't like. Somebody's telling you that you need it more. Or if this is like, you could do the other one that we like, if you like that one better. But like I said, there's one that you don't like. Might be somebody trying to tell you something. All right. So let's do two more on each side. Excellent. Finish off whenever you're ready. And since we have blocks, if you want, you can do your tree pose on your block. Make it a little bit more difficult. Or don't, that's okay. You can do it just regular. If you have a wall or a chair, you're welcome to do that for your tree pose. I'm gonna do one without first, and then if you want to do your block, you can do that. All right. So pick a foot. Pay attention to your toes. Maybe lift them up first and then set them down. I always get kind of after the first two, the middle two kind of don't move independently for me, and then the pinky toe. All right, you can start with heel above the ankle of that first foot. Check in with this hip here. I'm exaggerating, but nice and strong. Engage the muscles around there. And start the hands at the heart, and then grow your branches. So wherever you want your hands to be, straight up, straight out, anywhere in between. We're just not falling, that's all. All right. So take a couple breaths there. You want to try it up on your block, you can do that. And then coming out nice and gracefully. Awesome. All right, check it out. And then let's do the other side. First, toes. That second foot, pick up the toes, set them down. Maybe mess with the arches a little bit. So we're trying to connect the nerves are 80% coming up, 20% going down. So if we're not paying attention to what's going on all out here, we're going to lose some of that sensation. All right. Heel above the ankle. Hands at the heart, and then grow your branches. I forgot to tell you to breathe. Nobody pass out because you weren't breathing. And then coming up nice and gracefully, shake it out. Awesome sauce. All right. I forgot what we were going to do next. Warrior two. We'll do that one next. All right. So, oh, snap. We have our blocks. Yay. So we're going to make this Warrior two. We're going to add our lunge on at the end. So if you're using a chair, or if you don't want to use the blocks and you'd rather use a chair, you can do that too. So, side angle pose, peaceful warrior, lunge, okay? Or side angle pose, peaceful warrior, lunge. And you can stay on the chair or you can come up, okay? So you don't have to go all the way down to the blocks. But if you want to, you can. All right, so that's what I'm going to do at the blocks, but you're welcome to grab a chair if you'd rather do that. All right, so we're going to bring the front foot up close to the blocks, maybe even in between them if you want. Hands at the heart, arms up into the side. We're going to bend that front knee over that front ankle. And again, you can always adjust your feet if they're not where you like. Extend out through the fingers. Take a breath or so here. And then we're going to go forward first. Bend that front elbow. Come down to that front thigh. This upper arm can go to the hip. Can go straight towards the ceiling. Can go overhead. Wherever you like it. And it may change day to day. It's fine. And then we're going to inhale and windmill around to peaceful warrior. Once you get that front arm up, check back in with that front knee. Did you lose the bend? Are you bending too far? Just check in. All right, here we go. Super duper lunge. So we're going to bring both arms all the way down and around to the chair or the blocks. And then we're going to pivot that back foot so that both feet are facing forward. If you want, bring that heel down so you got both feet rooted. Otherwise, you can stay up on those toes. And then we're going to come back up with an inhale. Nice and controlled. So we're not like, woo. All right, ready? We're going to do it 2 more times. Back to warrior 2. So that back foot's going to pivot a little bit again. Side angle pose. And you have the blocks here. If you want to come down to a block, you can do that for your side angle pose. We tend to kind of lose a little bit of space when we do that. All right, back to peaceful warrior. Once you get up, check in with that front knee again. And then here we go for our super lunge. Both arms come down and around. Fix that back foot. And then when you're ready, come back up with your high lunge. You can do cactus arms if you don't like the arms straight up. And then back to warrior 2. All right, one more time through. Ready? Here we go. Side angle pose. And then windmill around to peaceful warrior. And then here we go for our lunge. Hands come down. And then we're going to come back up. Use your breath. Inhale. And then we'll finish with warrior 2. Excellent. Drop the arms, step feet back together. Shake out the arms, shake out the legs. All right, you guys ready for the other side? All right, here we go. Front foot up by the blocks. Back foot at 90 degrees-ish. Hands at the heart, arms up into the side, bend that front knee over that front ankle. Warrior 2 on the other side. And then we're going to go forward first, side angle pose. Bend that front elbow. Upper arm can be on the hip, straight up towards the ceiling, or arm over the ears, wherever you like it to be. And then when you're ready, we're going to inhale, peaceful warrior. Check that front knee again. And then our super duper high lunge. Both arms come down to the chair or the blocks. Pivot that back foot. On your next inhale, bring the arms up. You can be on the heel or just up on the toes. Practice the arms. And then back to warrior two. And let's do it again. Side angle pose. And then windmill around two, peaceful warrior. And our fabulous lunge, come down first. Inhale, bring it back up. And then back to warrior two. And one more time through side angle pose. Inhale, bring it back up to peaceful warrior. Excellent. And then down to our blocks or chair. And then inhale, bring it back up, high lunge. And we're going to finish with warrior two. And drop the arms and step the feet back to that. Excellent. All right, shake it out. Let's grab our strap. And you don't have to do the strap for this. You can do it without. And you can do it seated if you want to take a break. That's fine too. So we're going to go nice and wide with the feet, maybe as wide as your mat. And we're going to start with nice and wide. And we're just going to go up a couple times and then we'll go back. So we're just going to inhale, bring the arms up. Exhale, back down. Inhale, bring it up. Exhale down. And this next time, inhale, bring it up. And then see if you can pull on the strap so you're activating some muscles in the shoulder there. And then exhale, bring it up. Now this next time, I'm going to go past neutral. You can stay at neutral, especially if you have rotator cuff issues. Don't go beyond what you can come back to, right? Okay, so here we go. So we're going to inhale, bring it up, and then as far back as you want to go. And then exhale, bring it back. If you're grimacing, I'm going to say you went too far. If you can't do this and smile, maybe don't go so far. And like anything, if you're not using these muscles on a regular basis, they're going to either be weak or tight or just not feel good. All right, let's do one more. Just as far as comfortable, don't go past that. Excellent. And release. All right, let's do some shoulder rolls. You can put your strap down for a moment or so. We're just going to open up the shoulders. Rolling them one way, and the other way. Oh. So I did something in there, right? Excellent. And I feel like whenever I do some shoulder stuff, I want to move the neck a little bit more. Just like you know, it's all connected. So feet are nice and wide just for stability. Maybe bend the knees a little bit so we're not hyperextending anything. And let's do some neck movements here. So your hands can be down by your side or on your hips. We're going to start looking straight ahead and take an inhale. On the exhale, chin comes down towards the chest, just as far as is comfortable. Inhale, looking up. Exhale, bring it back down. Inhale, looking up. Exhale, bring it back down. And one more time. Inhale all the way up. Exhale all the way back down. Beautiful. Back to neutral. And then we're going to go lateral. So we're going to exhale and let one ear go to one side. Inhale, center. Exhale, second side. Inhale, center. Exhale, back to the first side. Inhale, center. Exhale, second side. Inhale, center. We're going to do this one more time. Each side, you can add the arm if you want. If you don't want to, that's fine too. So I'm going left ear, left shoulder. I'm going to bring my left arm out. If you're doing your right, do the opposite. And bring that arm up and overhead. And gently rest that hand on the side of the head. We're not torquing, making space between that right ear and right shoulder. Maybe drop that arm down by your side. Breathe into any tension that you're finding. And then when you're ready to come out, inhale, start the breath first and then start the movement. Exhale, release. All right, let's do the last time, last side, right ear, right shoulder, or vice versa. Arm comes up and over, and we're just resting. We're not putting pressure. Making space between that ear and shoulder. Again, breathing into any tension that you find. Can we find more or less on this side? And then when you're ready, inhale, start the breath first, and then start the movement. Beautiful. All right, one more movement with the neck here. We're going to look straight ahead on our inhale. On the exhale, gaze goes around to one side, just as far as possible, chin towards the shoulder. Inhale, bring it back to center. Exhale, other side. Nice and slow. Inhale, center. This is my grandmother was driving. She would have to sit up and look. She had lack of mobility in her neck. Second side. Inhale back to center. One more time each side. Back to center. Excellent. All right. If you want a couple more shoulder rolls, totally releasing that last bit of tension. And if you want, you can actually bring your fingertips to the shoulders and do the elbows. It's getting in a little bit different spot maybe. You can feel it further down my back. And it's all connected. Excellent. All right. So we're going to do triangle pose since we have our blocks. I'm trying to think of all the poses that we use our blocks for. All right, so we're going to do triangle pose from standing down, and then we'll come down to our hands and knees and do triangle up. All right. And then you can decide which one you like better for practice at home. All right, pick a foot, step that foot in between your blocks. If you don't need blocks for this, that's totally fine. You can also use your chair. You can put your foot under the seat of the chair and come into it like that. All right. So those are your many, many options. All right. Hands come to the heart. Arms open to the side. That front leg stays mostly straight. You can always bend anything if you need to or want to. And we're going to extend forward with those front fingers. And then we're hinging at the hip and tick-tock the arms. So you can come down to your block. You can stay up higher if that block is too low. Or if you want, you can come all the way down to the floor. So let's take a breath or so here, sending that upper shoulder towards that back wall, if you can. When you're ready to come out, we're going to grab that invisible rope. Inhale, pull back up. And then we'll exhale, drop the arms. And step the feet back together. All right, shake out that front leg at least, or anything else that needs shaking. And let's do the other side. So the other foot is in the front, hands at the heart. Arms open to the sides. We're going to extend forward with those front fingers. Hinge at that hip. Tick-tock the arms. You come down to a block, or your shin, or the floor, or your chair. You're going to send that upper shoulder towards that back wall, opening up that front of the spine, the front of the rib cage. Take a couple breaths here. And then when you're ready, grab that invisible rope. And we'll come back up. Drop the arms. And step the feet back together. All right, so we're going to come down to hands and knees to do that again, but you can stay up if you would prefer. Or if you want to take a triangle in the chair, you can do it seated as well. All right, you guys ready? So hands and knees. If you have a towel or a blanket that you put under your knees, go ahead and grab that. All right, so if you remember what foot you did the first time, see if you can do the other foot this time. So you can go out and around if you like, or through. And then we're going to curl the toes of that back foot. Lift on an inhale. And then we're going to pivot so the heel comes down towards the floor, towards the center. There you go. Got it? All right, so that front leg, you may want to walk it out a little bit so you can straighten that leg if you want. You can keep it bent. All right, so I have my right foot in front, so my left arm is going to come up. So I have one hand on the block. You can also have it on the floor. Take another breath if you got it. And then to come out, we're going to bring that hand down, pivot that back foot, come down to that back knee, and then we'll switch legs. All right. So the other foot comes in front. We're going to curl the toes of the back foot. Lift the hips up. That front leg straightens. We're going to pivot that back foot so the heel comes down to the floor. And then I have my left foot in front. So I'm going to bring my right arm up towards the center. Keeping a nice little soft bend in that front knee so you're not hyperextending. And then when you're ready, bring that hand down, pivot that back foot, come down to that back knee, release that foot, bring the other knee down, and then we're going to come into cat and cow to come back to symmetrical in the spine. So let's start with the exhale cat, inhale cat. Keeping that belly from dropping to the floor, keep that lower abdominal wall engaged. And then we're going to add child's pose. So inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. All the way down to child's pose. Or if you prefer, puppy pose. That works too. Inhale. Up to cow. Exhale, cat. Either come down to puppy pose or child's pose. The next time you come down to child's pose, we're going to pause there for a couple breaths. Or puppy pose, sorry. Either way. And then when you're ready, we're going to come and sit over onto one side and then come down onto our backs. Grab your strap. So if you don't have a strap, that's fine. We do this all the time without it. So you don't have to have a strap, but if you have one, you can use it. All right, so have your strap handy. We're going to come down onto the spine. And then let's start with a couple of apanasanas so that got the spine back to symmetrical, easing any hip issues. We did a lot of hip stuff today. All right, and then we're going to bring both feet down to the mat. Both knees are bent. Grab your strap, and we're going to put the right foot on the strap, and the foot goes up towards the ceiling. So if you don't have your strap, you can just bring your hands behind the thigh. So for this one, before we go anywhere, we're going to push the foot into the strap and pull the strap into the foot. So that can help reset that hip socket. All right, and then we're gonna bring the right leg towards the chest. That's our exhale. Inhale, release. And we don't want to be holding the strap all the way up by the foot. We want to relax the shoulders, so have the arms as close to the floor as comfortable. So let's do that again. Exhale, bring that leg in. Inhale, release it out. And one more time. Exhale, leg in. Inhale, out. All right, both straps go into the right hand. Left arm comes out to the side. And we're going to bring the right leg towards the right side of the floor. Just as far as is comfortable. Not any further than you can't get it back up. When you're ready, we're going to bring it back up with the exhale. Switching hands, both straps in the left hand, right arm out to the side, move that left leg out of the way. And then we're going to cross the body with that right leg. So it comes towards the left side of the floor. If you want, you can turn and look at that right hand. Feeling that stretch up into the armpit maybe. And then on your next exhale, bring that leg back up to center. We're going to switch legs. So bring that left foot up into the strap. Right foot comes down to the mat. And let's start with pushing that foot into the strap and pulling the strap down towards the floor. Excellent. And then 3 times towards the chest. Exhale. Bring that leg in. Inhale, release it out. Exhale, leg in. Inhale, leg out. And one more time. Beautiful. All right. Both straps in the left hand, right arm out to the side. We're going to release that left leg over towards the left side of the floor. Take another breath or so. And then when you're ready, bring that left leg back up to center, switch hands, straps in the right hand, move the right leg out of the way, left arm out to the side, cross the body. If you want, you can turn and look at that left hand. Left leg towards the right side of the floor. And then when you're ready, we're gonna bring that leg back up to center. Bring that foot down, release the strap without smacking yourself in the face. Both feet come into the mat, both knees are bent. We're gonna do a little pelvic tilt here, so push into the feet, flatten out the lower spine. Release, let that tilt go the other way. Excellent. All right, so let's see what do we got time for. We're gonna bring the knees back into the chest, a couple of Apanasanas. On your next exhale, knees come in. On the inhale, feet up towards the ceiling, arms up overhead. Point and flex, and then bend the knees, hands to knees. Inhale, open, point and flex. Exhale, bend the knees, hands to knees. One more time, inhale, point and flex. Exhale, hands to knees. Finish off with just a couple more Apanasanas. If you want to, rock side to side, sometimes that feels nice. And then finish off with 3 Apanasanas. And then both feet come down, extend both legs all the way straight out. Zip the legs up together, toes point up towards the ceiling, arms down by your side. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, arms back down by your sides. Inhale. And exhale. On your next one, we're going to inhale and leave the arms up. Take an extra breath and feel that extension. Fingers out, heels out. And then exhale, arms back down by your side. Do 2 more. Just regular, inhale, exhale. And one more for good luck. And release the legs and feet away from each other. Arms down by your side and out away from the body. Palms up or palms down. Getting any last little wiggles out. If you have a chair and you want to bring your legs up on the chair, you are welcome to do that. If it's uncomfortable on your back to lay flat on your back, you can roll over or bend the knees, feet into the mat, and then drop the knees towards each other. Whatever you need to get comfortable for your relaxation pose, make it happen. And I'm going to sit up so you can hear me better. And we will do a full body relaxation, walking up the body, relaxing each part as we go. We're going to do joints. We're going to relax and make space in all the joints. All right, here we go. Starting with the feet. Relax the toes. Make space and relax. Relax and make space in the feet. Relax and make space in the ankles. Relax and make space in the knees. Relax and make space in the hip joints. Relax and make space in the spine. Relax and make space between the ribs. Relax and make space in the shoulders. Relax and make space in the elbows. Relax and make space in the wrists. Relax and make space in the hands and fingers. Relax and make space in the jaw. Smooth the forehead and face. Let any last thoughts seep out the top of the crown of the head. Let the earth's gravity hold you. Let the air around you breathe you. Take the next few moments and just be. Gently coming back into awareness. Wiggle your toes. Wiggle your fingers. If you'd like, you can roll your head side to side. When you're ready, and with an inhale, rolling over onto your right or left side. When you're ready, and again with an inhale, pushing up to a comfortable seated position. And to bring breath back into the body and find us safely on our way, let's do lotus breath. Pinky and thumb together. Inhale, open, exhale, close, 4 times. Here we go. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. Again, inhale, open. Exhale, close. And one more glorious time. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. Hands together, back to heart, and namaste. Namaste.
Thank you, Dave.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
All right, no class next week.
We'll see you in 2 weeks.
2 weeks.